Okay, in this video what I wanted to show you is basically how you set up the AccordioNator. So what we're going to do is go to the left side. By now you've installed it. Click on New Accordion. And it's real simple. First thing you want to do is give it a name. So let's call this First Accordion. Now I hope you understand the concept behind an accordion. Basically it's going to be several different banners, sections, that when the user clicks on a section, it opens up that section, and they'll see whatever you put into that section. Click on it again, it closes it. So what it allows you to do in a small space, put in several different items. And this could be used in a wide variety of ways. And we'll discuss that in another video to give you some of the ideas that we've thought about as to how you can be using this on your blog, whether it's on a page or post or even in a widget. We're going to show you that as well. But let's first go over how this is set up. And it's real simple. First you have to determine the width. Now you can see a preview right here. So that's not a problem. So you can look at the width. Now you have two different widths to worry about. One is the width on the post or the page. The other width that you can think about is as a widget on the sidebar if you chose to use it there. You do not have to do that. Now most sidebars are going to be a little smaller. We put it at 300 as a default, but I would probably set it at 250. That's pretty much the size of most sidebars. But once again, you do not have to use it on there. So we just set the width arbitrarily at 300 and 250. Next thing you want to do is, what do you want this to look like? The actual title. What color, what size, what font. So first thing we're going to do is pick the font. So we can pick anything on this list. So let's go ahead and, just so you'll see that it changes, let's pick, okay, I happen not to like that as a font, but let's assume that's the font you want to use. Okay? Just ignore these little things that are popping up. I should have closed matter of fact, let me close that. I won't close it. Anyway, so you'll see it here. But we can pick any font that we want and change it back, and we can see what it looks like. We can change the size of the font, and you can see that the actual bar, the title bar, will actually change in size to accommodate the font. We can also change the color of the font itself. Just click on the color picker. Now what you're going to do first is, what actual color do you want to use? And then within that range of color, what would you like to use? So let's use a pink because it's kind of cool. Now you're going to move this little circle to where you want it. Once you have the color that you want, just click outside the box and it'll close. The next thing you have to think about is, do you want a square edge or rounded? Now I happen to like rounded, so let's go ahead and make it a rounded border. And you can play around with the radius so you can have as big a radius as you want. And then you have to think about the actual border color, because this does have a border. Right now it's white so you don't see it, but there is a border here. So let's put a 2-pixel border, and let's pick a color for the border. Let's stay in the same color range. So we're going to go ahead and pick something that is, let's make it a little darker, somewhere over there. Okay, now let's look at the background. Right now the background is gray. I don't like the way that looks, so let's go ahead and change the background color a little bit and put something that blends in a little. So how about something like that? And you can play around obviously with the colors. You can put it in your RGB numbers or HSB or whatever you want. Okay, that pretty much sets up what the accordion is going to look like, and once again you'll have several of these depending on how many levels of the accordion you want to use. The next thing you could decide is, you want to use this as a pop-up, and if you do, just click it as a pop-up. And if you want, when do you want this pop-up to appear? And this is in milliseconds, so you can do 100 milliseconds, 1,000 milliseconds, and it'll just pop up whenever you set it to pop up. I put this in here because people do like pop-ups. Now, I'm not going to use it as such for the demonstration purposes, but you can play around with that and see what you like. Now you'll notice, that sets the general settings for the accordion. Now the next thing you'll see is that you have 4 fields that you can set up. If you want more, all you have to do is add more. You can add as many as you want. Now the whole purpose of this is try to keep this above the fold on your page, so that instead of having to scroll down page after page after page, the visitor will only have to look at this one form, this 3, 4, 5 levels, and click which on the one they want. It will then open up. They can read the material, then close it and go on to the next one. So everything stays above the fold. It attracts the eye. That's the whole purpose of this. It's used very frequently on mobile websites, but my feeling is that it should be on a blog as well, because you really want to keep everything above the fold so people don't have to scroll. So now, in order to go ahead and set up your the first level on your recording, this is just a preview. What you would do here is put in a title for that particular level. So let's call this video. Okay, now in the box here, it works very similar to what you have with the rest of WordPress. You can put in this box whatever you want, YouTube videos, whatever you please. You can embed them, or you can put them in using these little widgets. So what I've done before already is I've gone ahead and I've created an embed code for YouTube. So let's just copy it. Now we're going to go into the HTML here and just paste it. And there's the video. And you'll see what this looks like. Now you could change the size of this video, etc. Basically within the HTML, just change the size here to the width and height that you want. But we'll leave it as is. Alright, so this is, let's call this training video. And the next accordion we're going to put in, how about an Aweber form? Because you could use this in a form, just as put your form in just as well. So what I did was, I copied the entire Aweber form. Now Aweber is just one. It'll work with any form that you want. It's just cutting and pasting. So I'm going to, actually I want to include that part, so we'll take that out of there, because that'll just mess it up. And let's go ahead and copy this. And this is just a demonstration to show you what you can put into the accordion. I'll just copy that. Now you got to go into the HTML and just paste it. And you'll see here that your form will appear. There it is. You can see the form is in here. Now the third one might be something where this could be anything. It could just be training steps or training PDF or whatever you want to put in here. And you could put links in it, and you could have links. So you just click on a link, and if you guys know how to use links, you would just go in here and put in whatever the link is. This is just to our site, etc. And you can put links in. So this will now activate. Now, if you don't want any more than 3, if you leave this blank, it won't appear. So let's just put in something here. Let's leave it blank so you'll see what I mean. Now, you can either save it down here, or you can save it at the top. Once you save it, you'll end up going back over here to the existing accordions, and you'll see that you have a shortcode. All you need to do is grab it, copy it, and then decide where you want to put it. Now, I happen to have an accordion test page set up, so we'll put it in there. This has an existing accordion in it, so we'll just get it out of here. And let's paste in the new one. Okay, we'll update the page. And let's take a look at the site. Now this is what it looked like before. This was the original. Now let's just get rid of that. And now, there's what we just did. Okay, this was a widget that we had used it for demonstration purposes, because you can put this in a widget, which I'll show you in the next video. So here we would just click on the down arrow, and there's our video. Now we can make this wider or smaller, whatever, to make that if you want to change this. Once again, that's up to you. Now here's our Aweber form. I just did a simple form. It was not anything complicated. And if you want to put a PDF or a link, now you can see the links all work. So now the advantage of this is all above the fold. So now instead of having to scroll down and look at a full page, and this way the user can see exactly what they want to see. You might put text above here, click on down arrow to display, and then the user knows what to do. But most people would go in here and just click. And then you just click on the video to run the video, and it'll run within the accordion.
That only about 11?
So that's pretty much how you set up the accordion for your page or post. The next video will show you how to put it into a widget.